Hello fam, just Tammy here. I wanted to share a little bit of mail I got today. Now I thought this was nice because I thought, YouTube fans, I don't know, I just thought it was so super duper special. But then I realized that there's no return address on there, not from anybody. So I got an anonymous letter. It doesn't even have a name on it. It just says YouTube fans. But I do know that it came out of Seattle, Washington. So that's awesome. While opening the letter, I noticed that it's on medium stock to lower quality stock paper, so I automatically knew that it wasn't a legal document. But also, upon looking at it, it's very informative, which I always appreciate information. So somebody was trying to explain to me, in case I didn't know, the Washington State anti-doxing law. Well, I do a lot of studying on law, civil law, especially doxing and harassing, like I've stated in previous videos. That's why I'm careful with my words. But I thought it was interesting here how some of it was revised and a lot of it was taken out. So I circled a few things that I thought might be of interest. Under Washington Revised Code of Washington 4-24-792- no person may publish an individual's personal identifying information when done without consent, done with intent, knowledge, or reckless disregard that the information will be used to cause harm. The publication causes the victim to suffer physical injury, significant economical injury, or substantial life disruption. Now, first I want to say that I have not doxed anybody. Other people I know might be putting out information, but that information is public knowledge, and anybody can get that if you file for a Freedom of Information Act. And if it's posted and it's not a lie, and if it's posted and it's truth and fact, that's not really doxing. As long as the address, personal address, your address and your phone number and your date of birth and your social security number, which isn't usually given on all of those little sleuth sites like White Pages and all the other ones, you wouldn't have to worry about that to begin with. But I haven't posted any of that. Not only that, but I also have never reposted what other people were posting because I didn't want, any fray. Key definitions and remedies. Personal identifying information, which includes names, addresses, phone numbers, employment, or photos used to identify somebody. Well, this is social media, so all I have to do, or anybody would have to do, is take a picture of you and upload it to Google. And it's really not hard to get people's names and addresses and phone numbers if you just pay like the $12 to go onto White Pages. So, the sleuth isn't sleuthing all that much. Substantial life disruption, which includes changing your whole routine, your residence, or deleting accounts due to fear or safety concerns. Now, I highly doubt that anything that I have said would cause somebody to do something like that. The only exception to this law, which is one that you left out of this paper here, is an exception to news media outlets, somebody reporting a crime, somebody reposting intellectual property that you have posted yourself, things of that nature. So I have a few ideas of where this may or may not be coming from. The first person, I have not reshared any doxing information, but I don't believe any doxing information was shared since it's public knowledge, and a lot of people were getting information from things like White Pages or public records. So I didn't share any of those, and if so, that's not really doxing because it doesn't, it's public record. If it's the other person, who it may be, not sure, but I've only just reposted content that you have posted yourself in your own words, in your own like videos and your own conversations. So I'm just reposting that. So I'm sharing your content. Two, I have to show in some way, shape, or form that I have affected you in a financial way. But if it is the person that I think, and maybe not, you're technically not even re-licensed to have a business. So you wouldn't be losing out that way. Let's see, I live like 2,000 miles away, so I don't think you have to worry about bodily harm. Not to mention I'm 105 pounds, and I probably couldn't hurt too many people. With that being said, there's no signature. There's also nothing on the legal top of the letterhead. So basically what this letter is to try to scare and intimidate me into maybe just not making content, which one, I'm not going to do, because this doesn't scare me, because I already know the law, not only for your state, but my state and all the other states. And they all do have caveats, none of which you added here. You must have edited that part out. And the fact that a lot of things fall to scrutiny under First Amendment rights. And a lot of people don't realize that when you're on the internet, what you post on the internet becomes public domain. So, you know, unless I'm verbally threatening you, like if I'm saying something in a very hypothetical way right now and saying, I'm going to take you down, I'm going to hurt you, you know, I don't think anybody has to worry about that part of the law either. So, while this was fun, and I'm glad you found my address, which most people would be afraid, like, oh no, I don't know who somebody is, but they have my address. All I can say, because I'm not afraid, is let's talk it out. You know where I live? Come pay me a visit. Just remember, you have to get through 2 gates with 15 security cameras that line my very long wooded driveway. And if you happen to make it to the 2nd gate, all with no trespassing signs, I will use my rights as a homeowner in my state of Oklahoma, which you might want to look up. Okay? You might want to look that up, because the Castle Doctrine and the Stand Your Ground laws in Oklahoma are pretty black and white. And I'm also a member of OK2A, which is an Oklahoma Second Amendment group. And I was a county leader for a while, so I do happen to know a lot about the laws when it comes to protection, self-protection, property protection, family protection, animal protection, and trespassing. So while the letter was fun and kind of amusing, what I can do on my end is take this down to the police station and make a complaint and have it filed. And therefore, if I keep receiving these, then they will actually investigate you further, especially considering I have done nothing wrong that violates any Washington doxing laws whatsoever. So while getting mail is fun, next time send me an autograph. Next time use rubber gloves, because fingerprints are such a bitch. Next time, I don't know, send me a coupon to McDonald's or something. But just remember that stuff like this doesn't scare me. I've literally had Antifa groups of 30 people show up to my house and try to burn it down. That was slightly intense, but I took care of that too. That was in New York State, though. Laws have changed up there. But I live in a very constitutional free state, and I practice all of my constitutional rights. So thanks for the fan mail. Thanks for the letter. I appreciate you leaving a lot of things out of it. And that's it. I'm sorry if you feel like I'm a part of the doxing crew, but I'm not. I'm sorry if me reposting your own videos and your own words upsets you, but that's public domain. And if it's the other person, well, I haven't done anything wrong to you either. So, cheery ho. Thanks for the mail. Appreciate it. Helps me out. And that's about it. So, have a nice day.